Since we were born, we have had an identity which is our appearance, our name, our nationality, and so on. And as digital platforms become popular and attract more and more people to join, we can clone the digital space such as Facebook and Instagram flat world where people can update news, leave comments, and interact with others. However, the flat world has so many different characteristics from the real world. Therefore, the question here is, do people show their identity differently on two worlds? If yes, what are the differences? And are they positive or negative? If it is negative, what solution can be applied? To answer those questions, we have conducted a research which especially focuses on Vietnamese Generation Z, for they are the digital native.
Profile của Facebook của mình đó kìa, thì mình chỉ thể hiện những gì mà mình nghĩ là nó quan trọng và nó có ý nghĩa với công việc, với tương lai của mình thì mình để thôi. Có những cái rất là đặc biệt với mình mà mình nghĩ là nên giấu đi để mà mình không bị ảnh hưởng gì hết từ những người xung quanh họ nói này nói nọ về công việc của mình.
Anh nghĩ mạng xã hội thì như anh nói, dù mọi người có thể hiện nhiều đến đâu thì nó cũng chỉ là một phần của cái người đó. Ví dụ có những người họ bị trầm cảm, họ bị đi thông tin chẳng hạn, nhưng mà họ sẽ chỉ áp những cái thông tin mà tích cực ra mọi người thôi. Vì họ có nhận thức rằng là có rất nhiều người đang consume, đang tiêu thụ cái thông tin đó, và họ cũng có nhu cầu phải chia sẻ cái nỗi buồn của họ, cái nỗi đau của họ cho rất nhiều người xem và để họ bàn tán.
Let us now distinguish three forms of identities: real-life identity, digital identity, and national identity. First, real-life identity refers to the process of forming a person's identity through time, including many factors, of which they may be unaware, such as nationality, appearance, social standing, or things we can opt for define ourselves, such as views, conduct, etc. Humans communicate a portion of their personal identity to the outer world through what they wear and how they interact, their connection with others. Second, digital identity refers to an individual's social identity as conveyed through cyberspace and social media. Today, digital identity is seen to be equal to a user's real-life identity, which determines some of our characteristics, such as who we are, what we enjoy, our job, our reputation, and so on. When discussing digital identity, individuals frequently use some terms such as social media posting, personal profile images, digital community, online pals, pictures, relationship, and so on. Finally, national identity is frequently related to a person's sense of belonging to one or more nations. National identity can relate to a person's subjective sentiment about a country that they share with a group of individuals, regardless of their official citizenship. In psychology, national identity is described as the sense of being distinct, as well as the feeling and perception of us and them. In addition, national identity can encompass the general population and the human race in multi-ethnic nations and civilization, which have a feeling of self-identity with a country and are made up of several ethnic groups. Patriotism is a positive manifestation of national identity, characterized by national pride, feeling of love for one's country. Based on our survey results, when it comes to national identity, people often refer to two most typical words: ethnicity and language. Other keywords follow are attitude, consciousness, thought, etc. People are free to construct different identities in cyberspace by deciding how they want to be perceived, such as by gender, relationship status, and other factors. Anonymity has freed people from their social roles, and they feel no pressure from their superego. Any non-Vietnamese people can observe the digital identity that Vietnamese individuals exhibit online. As a result, we believe that if users watch a group of Vietnamese individuals engage in similar activities in cyberspace, they will be able to determine what type of Vietnamese they are.
Real-life identity, digital identity, and national identity are dynamic terms that cannot be defined easily. Vietnamese Gen Z argues that there is a moderate relationship between digital identity and national identity. There were many thought-provoking responses in our survey, some of which represent the first group as follows. Right, for the second group, we found answers like: using statistical analysis, we believe that almost all of the answers are likely to represent a large group of Vietnamese Generation Z. Drawing from other periods' interpretation, we believe that there is definite connection between the three types of identity. This triangular relationship is extremely dynamic because it is expressed through a number of forms and means. Besides, because people have different opinions about it, these issues need to be examined further. When people, especially young people, go to social media, they can easily get pressure from their friends because they can see other people's profile perfectly built. Therefore, young users are encouraged to decorate their profiles as beautiful as their peers, and by adding new things, not only to express themselves, but also to avoid feeling of inferiority.
Thật ra thì là mình cũng đặt ra khá nhiều những cái quy định cho bản thân để mình không vượt quá giới hạn khi tham gia vào những cái cuộc tranh luận như thế. Đầu tiên thì bình thường mình sẽ không thường hay tham gia vào những cái cuộc tranh luận ở trên mạng bằng cái nick chính của mình, bằng cái trang cá nhân mà mình công khai những kiểu danh tính của mình ở trên đấy. Nếu mà khi mà kiểu mình cảm thấy cần thiết và mình phải tham gia vào để kiểu mình bày tỏ cái quan điểm và cái suy nghĩ của mình ấy, thì mình sẽ dùng một cái nick khác như là một cái nick phụ, thì để mình có thể kiểu như là bày tỏ cái quan điểm thoải mái rõ ràng hơn. Tại vì ở cái nick phụ đấy là mình nghĩ là kiểu mọi người sẽ không biết mình ấy, và bạn bè của mình sẽ không nhìn thấy, những cái người quen của mình cũng sẽ không nhìn thấy cái việc mà mình bày tỏ cái quan điểm như thế, thì mình cảm thấy là tự tin hơn khi nói về những cái chuyện đấy.
Turning to the other aspect, nearly 40% of respondents choose A when quantifying how comfortable is it to express personal identity in the real life. It can be seen that Generation Z in Vietnam is very comfortable and confident in expressing who they are in normal and real life. However, with the same type of questions and only one spatial modification, social media instead of the real life, their perception are now extremely diverse. The most common is answer from 5 to 9. It's important to note that here that a difference in the number of answers between each pair of answers is not too significant to be recognized.
As we research about the digital civility of Vietnamese people, we have collected a lot of useful data and insights. According to the Digital Civility Index report by Microsoft, Vietnam belongs to the bottom 5 countries having low civility level on social media. In our survey, when we asked our respondents to quantify the civility of Vietnamese on social media in the scale from 1 to 10, 18% out of 160 respondents rate 4, 5, 6, and 7, in which 5 is the most chosen level. This data show two tendencies. First, our Gen Z respondents believe the Vietnamese digital civility is average, or second, they are unsure about this issue. According to the statistic of Google Trends, for Vietnamese users, most search trends in the last 5 years have been related to sports and entertainment. There are several controversies and debates in these two topics. For example, Vietnamese football fans can attack referees' Facebook accounts when they think that the referees treat their football national team unfairly. Surprisingly, sometimes the victims of the digital attack are Vietnamese football players. Each time they seem not to perform well, some of these uncivil behaviors used to be on the spotlight of national and international multimedia. Why do Vietnamese people have such aggressive behavior online? As we asked this question in our survey, 94% of the respondents answer crowd psychology.
Nhưng mà đại loại là đám đông ở trên mạng xã hội thì hoàn toàn có thể bị dắt mũi. Và những câu chuyện, bởi vì chúng ta đang ở xã hội tiêu thụ quá nhiều thông tin này, cho nên là không phải lúc nào chúng ta sẽ thấy là cái scandal ngày hôm nay nó sẽ tắt ngay khi có một cái scandal khác.
According to Margolin and Liao's paper, crowds and emotions are strongly linked. Crowds are social settings in which expressed emotion are highly visible to many people. Even when confined to social media, emotion can still be contagious. Upon expressing these emotions, they will reveal their common attitudes to one another, further enhancing solidarity. In Vietnam, solidarity is a precious characteristic. Yet when it comes to uncivil behaviors online, we need to consider this term more carefully.
The ongoing reality of Vietnamese users regarding ways of using, behaving, and reacting on social platforms creates an urge to produce a method in order to appropriately educate users and assure digital security. We have come up with an idea of popularizing the digital code of conduct. When we asked our survey respondents to rank the necessity to have a code of conduct for digital behavior, 75% of them chose the level of 8, 9, and 10. And surprisingly, most of them think that there should be 2 different codes of conduct for 2 groups of social media users, which are over 18 years old and under 18 years old. As we investigate the differences among these 2 groups of users leading to that result, we figured out that the primary factor could be because in Vietnam, most laws state it clear that an 18-year-old person have full set of legal rights and must take full absolute responsibilities for their actions. In contrast, the under 18 years old one usually does not possess full consciousness and carefully understand of the risks and pitfalls of what they do. Therefore, 2 groups of users need different approaches to civility online. As we research about the method of other countries in the world, we find out some interesting approaches. Firstly, it is important to raise adults such as parents, carers, and educators awareness about this issue and inform them some ways to bring up the topic with children. Cyber Peace Foundation has published a booklet called Cyber Safety Booklet for Children for Adolescents. This booklet aims to provide readers, such as parents, educators, comprehensive information about digital space and its opportunities as well as risks that children and young people might encounter by socializing on them. Although it might be more difficult to educate and support adults to deal with threats from social platforms, media productions such as movies, books, documentary films may catch the attention of a wide range of audience. In fact, the issue of cyberbullying has been mentioned in a lot of media productions. However, since people who are over 18 years old have absolute rights and must take absolute responsibilities for their actions, it may be more effective to have a civil law for cybersecurity. Because we are living in a digital age and Generation Z is a digital native, social media plays a significant part in their life, not only as a tool for amusement, but also for employment and spreading their voices. Since they were reared in Vietnam and are inspired by Vietnamese culture, we feel Vietnamese Generation Z has certain distinct traits. Meanwhile, owing to social media, they are considerably more connected to the worldwide globe than any previous generation, especially in this age of integration. Generation Z will be the future of not just Vietnam, but also the globe, and social media will be their platform for working and spreading their voices as a tool for civic involvement. As a result, it is critical to have a thorough understanding of their interactions with and performance on the digital platform in order to provide a better cybersecurity environment for Vietnam users and others across the world.